Welcome everybody to Stealth Elevation's broadcast, videocast, however you're watching or listening to us. We certainly appreciate you, and we hope you're getting a lot of value out of these series or social media, however you're seeing us. That's what's most important, is your stealth elevation, your elevation in life. What do I mean by stealth elevation? It's the stealth stuff, the inward stuff that no one sees you doing so that you can elevate to an outside and waiting world. We're waiting on you. We're waiting for you and your unique talents and passions, the stuff that I don't have that you were given, and I'm going to help you bring that stuff out. Today we're talking about ultimate goal setting and elite execution, and this is going to start a series for us, and we're going to dive into ultimate goal setting today. We'll talk a little bit about execution, and next week we're going to talk about execution all the way through, and then getting to the debrief, which is the most critical part of this whole process, as you'll see. I'm leadership and personal development speaker Joseph Chroniꓘ VanDusen. I'm a former B-2 stealth bomber instructor pilot. Now I'm an entrepreneur helping you elevate in life, leadership, business, relationships. And the thing with this podcast, Videocast, is we're going to get deep. Are you ready? Let's go. Here we go. Now we're going to talk about a target backwards mentality and how important it is to develop that with your goal setting. Traditionally, as we go through our goal setting process, you're typically used to, working from the present forward. And so, for example, I like to tell this story. It's New Year's Eve, right? And you're like, wow, I should probably set some goals for the new year. Let's see, what should I do? And you drink a couple adult beverages and you go through it and you're like, okay, I got one. I want to lose some weight in the new year. And you start with that and you're like, okay, cool. So then January 1st rolls around and you start off at the gym and you're doing really good, right? January 2nd, 3rd, you're eating better, you're going to the gym. All of a sudden, by the 4th or 5th, you get a little cold, you take a couple days off, and you end up falling off the wagon because you never had a plan to start with. And so we're going to start with developing that target backwards mentality so that you do have a plan. It's just a little mindset shift that will really set you up for success when you're developing your goals for your leadership, for your life, for your relationships. It is essential to everything. Now, a target backwards mentality, what does that even mean? In the B-2 Stealth Bomber, we would say, okay, so look at the target that we're going after, and then we work backwards from that target. We were the very best at mission planning in the Air Force, and we actually taught other platforms how we mission planned from a strategic and tactical perspective. But you don't really care about all that, right? So how do you develop a target backwards mentality that'll help you succeed in life? Now, I also fly for a commercial airline, so think of it this way. I fly the 787 Dreamliner, and we go from LA to Sydney. I just did this trip a few weeks ago. And as we're going from LA to Sydney, sure enough, there's going to be some stuff that knocks us off course. And we have to get back on course in order to complete the mission and bring the people in cargo safely to Sydney. Well, really, we're working backwards, aren't we? If you think about it this way, we're going from our destination. We defined our destination as Sydney, Australia, and we're working backwards to LA. I know we're going to get thrown off course along the way. We're going to have to go up and down to make the passengers more comfortable, as we hit turbulence. We're going to have to go left and right because there's always thunderstorms around the equator, so we got to avoid those. So I have my plan that's in place, my flight plan that gets me to Sydney from LA, but I've defined my target as Sydney, and I'm always going to get there regardless of if I wander left or right. Does that make sense? So you're sitting there in the airplane and there's thunderstorms that are in front of you and you got to go left. Okay, cool. So I'm off course, but I still have my destination in mind, right? Sydney. So eventually I'm going to get back on course and we're going to make it to our destination. When you think of your goals from the target backwards, it ends up making a lot of sense. So I know that my goal for that scenario is Sydney, Australia. Well, if I get off course, I can still course correct on the back end of that to still get to my destination, right? Let's break this out a little bit further. What do we do with a target backwards mentality that really helps us succeed? Instead of saying that, I want a better body in 2023, whatever that is, it's not measurable at all. We need some parameters on which to define what is a better body, right? So instead of saying, I want to be better in 2023 than 2022, or I want to be the best law firm in Las Vegas in 2023, these are bad goals. Let's be honest. We need to break it out into more measurable things, stuff that we can grade. For example, I used to teach, and what we did in the B2 was, we would have SMART goals. And Dr. Doran came up with this in 1981. Fantastic basic principle for how to set and achieve goals in life. SMART goals stands for specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. Now, attainable and realistic get a little muddied, you can't really define what is attainable and realistic. That's just whatever it is in your head. And we need to get past those limiting beliefs. So what I really have gone to with Stealth Elevation now, and what I teach corporations and leaders, is to just be specific, measurable, and timely, SMT, okay? Specific, measurable, and timely. Those are the three components that you need for better goal setting, really elite goal setting. And we start with the target backwards mentality with that. So what do we want to achieve that is definable, it's pinpoint, right? If I want to have a better goal, it would be something like this. I want to lose 25 pounds by June 1st of 2023. You see how that's specific, measurable, and timely, right? And even further, I could be like, well, that equates to, for example, 200 pounds. Now that's even more definable. And this becomes your strategic target. And we work strategic to tactical to achieve our goals, and that creates our strike plan. I'll break this all down for you so that it makes a lot more sense. But basically, we're going from a big pizza pie, which is our strategic goal, and then we are breaking it into slices of that pizza, which are tactical goals. All of our goals have to go by this criteria of specific, measurable, and timely. If we don't do that, we're just kind of wandering off into space. We're not defined, and we can't debrief it at the end of the day. And you'll see in a couple weeks how important the debrief is. But we need to set it up in a way where we're doing specific, measurable, and timely goals so that we can efficiently grade at the end, which is so important. When I was going through B2 Instructor upgrade class, we spent very little time talking about actually flying the airplane, because everybody knew how to fly the airplane at that point, and it was all about the art of the debrief. 90% of the learning happens in the debrief. We need to know whether we failed forward or if we achieved our goal, how we did that, so that we can further our goals in the future based off of that success or failure. It's all about building. And what we do in life is oftentimes is we fail to plan. And there's a quote out there that says, if you fail to plan, you plan to fail, right? I forget who said that quote, but it is so important. So we need to today start by setting better goals. And we do that by setting specific, measurable, and timely goals. If you want to go back to the SMART principle, that is totally fine as well. But what you'll find out is the attainable and realistic part of the SMART principle, as I'm learning more about energy and that our thoughts are matter. And if you think in that way, attainable and realistic doesn't really matter. If you can work from your target backwards, let's say you have a lofty goal this year and say, you want to make $23 million in 2023. Specific, measurable, and timely, right? Attainable or realistic? How do you know? You don't know. You're kind of just wandering off into 2023. But if you keep your vision on the target of making $23 million in 2023, your subconscious mind will actually figure out ways to put you in those situations so that you can evolve and grow into that character that can make $23 million in 2023. How do you do that? You become more valuable to the marketplace. And the only way you can become more valuable to the marketplace is learn in your passions, in your gifts, in your talents that you were given. Now, I was given certain talents and gifts, And I am using those and in my experiences in life to help further you on your journey. I'm becoming more valuable, you see. I'm becoming more valuable as a leadership and personal development speaker. I'm becoming more valuable as a coach and a mentor to executives. This is so important. It's such a passion of mine to develop leaders on the personal development side. That's why we spent the first couple weeks of this podcast, Videocast, talking more about the personal development piece. Because if you are not giving from an overflowing cup, your people will realize that. It doesn't matter if you're just leading yourself. You need to know the person that's looking you back in the mirror. If you don't, it will come out and it seems unauthentic in terms of leadership. We need authentic leaders who are full and able to give from an overflowing cup so that we can make better decisions. One of these better decisions that we can make is setting better goals. We're getting into the nitty-gritty of how you become elite in life and leadership, okay? We got to set either SMART goals or keep it simpler, specific, measurable, timely, SMT. Remember that. So what I want you to do at the end of today is go through your goals for the new year and make sure that they fit those criteria at least of specific, measurable, and timely. You'll see how important this is later on. Let's dissect this a little bit. Let's take our fictionary goal of I want to lose 25 pounds by June 1st of 2023, and let's say that that equals 200 pounds. So that becomes my strategic goal, or my pizza pie, if you will, right? And now I need to have slices of that pizza pie, because otherwise, how are you going to accomplish that? It's too big of a goal. You need to have tactical goals so that you can see yourself winning along the way. Tactical goals are little slices of that pizza pie. Accomplishing a tactical goal does not accomplish eating the whole pizza pie, you see. When we were learning a new airplane in the Air Force, we would say, okay, it's such a big animal, right? So we take a figurehead of an elephant, and we say, how do you eat an elephant? Well, one bite at a time, one tactical piece at a time. And that's how you go attack your goals. So in this format of I want to lose 25 pounds by June 1st, 2023, and that equals 200 pounds, how do I break that out into tactical pieces of the pizza pie? You say, okay, cool, I still want to have tactical goals that are specific, measurable, and timely. For example, a tactical goal of our strategic goal of losing 25 pounds by June 1st would be hit the gym 5 times a week. You need to hit the gym and burn calories at the gym, okay? 5 times per week. That is a tactical goal. It fits specific, measurable, and timely criteria, meaning we can grade it at the end of the week. It is so important to be able to grade this stuff, as you'll see, for your mental makeup and your subconscious. Your subconscious is constantly working in the background to help you on your journey. You don't realize that and just how powerful that is. But you can take this as an example and try it in your life. If you focus on waking up at 4 a.m., let's say you have a big project tomorrow. It's due at 4 a.m. And you tell yourself, I got to wake up at 4 a.m. I got to wake up at 4 a.m. And you believe that you do have to wake up at 4 a.m., you will do it without setting an alarm. Your body clock will naturally wake up then. It's amazing stuff how powerful our brains are. And research has shown that we only use about 5 or 10% of our brain. Even the most brainiac people you know are not using their subconscious to their full potential. Now, to further illustrate this, I'm reading this amazing book by Napoleon Hill. Now, everybody pretty much knows Think and Grow Rich, right? But this was his lecture series that he turned into a course, and it's called The Law of Success. Amazing. And he talks about in 1918 on Armistice Day in World War I, how everyone, he was sleeping in Chicago, sound asleep, when the war ended. And he knew it ended because he got woken up at like 2:30 in the morning. Goes outside, right? He's like, what the heck is going on? There's thousands of people in the streets of Chicago. How did that happen? You know, it's the combined thought of everybody so joyous when they got the order to stop fighting. This was before cell phones, remember? 1918, they had to wait for the newspaper to come out to validate why they were standing in the streets at 2:30 in the morning. fascinating stuff here, how powerful your thoughts are. And the more I get into this, the study of your thoughts, think of your thoughts as matter. It is absolutely critical because what you put out is going to come back to you. It doesn't matter. If you're putting out negative energy, you're going to get that back. You put out negative thoughts, you're going to get that back. You put out positive thoughts like, wow, I'm so grateful for today. And today's going to be an awesome day. Guess what? You're going to find a way to make today an awesome day. Your thoughts are absolutely critical to your success, and we'll do a whole podcast on that coming up too. But let's get back to our goals of I want to lose 25 pounds by June 1st, 2023. Now, your tactical goal, hit the gym 5 times a week. We need a couple more tactical goals. We need a couple more slices to eat that pizza pie. So let's say eat no more than 1,500 calories a day. That's another piece of the pie. That will help us get to accomplish our whole pizza pie of losing 25 pounds by June 1st. But in and of itself, it doesn't accomplish eating the whole thing. How about adding one more tactical goal so that we can really accomplish our pizza pie, right? How about thinking outside of the box? Do 20 push-ups during TV commercials. That's specific, measurable, and timely during any TV commercial, right? You're going to do 20 push-ups. You'll be surprised at how quickly that adds up, and you can accomplish your goal, your whole pizza pie of losing 25 pounds by June 1st, 2023, and being at your 200-pound goal, right? Now, there's a lot more to this ultimate goal setting and elite execution. And last year, I had developed an online course specifically addressing this in depth. And what I'm going to do is give it away for free. I'm going to put it on the YouTube channel. I got some editing to do that, but I feel like the world needs this information. We need to set goals and execute better. That's why the main mantra for Stealth Elevation is leadership development that elevates execution. We need to do better. And I'm going to give this away so that everybody can get in depth into what I'm talking about. Sometimes either watching it or listening to it isn't enough, and we need to actually take a course. So I'm going to put that out on YouTube this week. I promise it'll be out, and it's going to help you really grab these concepts and elevate in your life, because that's what it's all about. I'm here to give to you. I am adding value to you so that you can grow in your life. I've been to the highest of highs and the lowest of lows and built myself up to an amazing man that is still growing every day. That is one of those things that I'm just so passionate about, and I want you to grow too. It's so important to me and so fulfilling to me. It's just a passion of mine to give to you to help you grow. Not everyone can be in the audience when I'm speaking on stage. So I want you to have these little nuggets of information that are so priceless to your advancement in life, either via social media, on YouTube, through podcasts, whatever. I want to give you this stuff. It's not the same as me customizing this specifically for you or your company like I do on my keynotes and breakouts and full-day seminars, but it will help you. These principles are the same. You can adapt them to anything you're doing in your leadership, whether you're leading yourself, your team, your relationships, your life, your family. We all need this stuff. We need to be better. We need to plan. We cannot let the environment dictate our behavior. And this is how you do that. This is one of my key leadership and personal development things that I focus on at my seminars, and it is absolutely critical for you to adjust in your life. You need to work from the target backwards. Stop going from the present forwards. Stop listening to the outside environment that is dictating your behavior. If the stocks are down today, it shouldn't affect you. You should have a long-term plan. Same thing, you're into crypto or whatever you're doing. You should at least research that stuff and know what you're getting into and be in it for the long haul, not the short haul, right? So let's recap Ultimate Goal Setting and Elite Execution Part 1. We need to develop that target backwards mentality. You need to do this. Absolutely essential. Remember my example of going from LA to Sydney. Really, my example is a target backwards mentality, right? Sydney is the destination. Then I can create a flight plan or a strike plan that will allow me to deviate from that destination for a second and still get back on course, whether there's weather or turbulence or any of that, remember? So we need to be able to develop that target backwards mentality. That is absolutely critical. If you take nothing else away from today, it is that, target backwards. And then work in terms of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely, Dr. Doran. Or if you take my mentality, it is specific, measurable, timely, SMT goals, right? And that allows you to have a framework on which to grade this stuff later on, because the grading is absolutely essential. Just wait till you get to the debrief lesson here. And then finally, remember that we need our strategic goal, our target, our destination becomes our strategic goal. That is our whole pizza pie. Out of that pizza pie, we take our slices, our tactical goals, which are also specific, measurable, and timely. So critical to set this up today. You need to plan your life. Don't let someone else plan your life for you. You need to become an elite leader. And how you do that is you start by making these plans from the target backwards. You start to instill confidence in yourself. Your team believes in you. Your family believes in you. Pick a target, a destination that you want to go to, and go after it. Specific, measurable, timely. Did you learn something today? I know you did. Biggest thing to take away: pick a destination, right? Work from the target backwards, be specific, measurable, timely, and then start out on your journey towards that. If you like this episode, please drop a like or a comment. I'll be more than happy to answer any questions that you have, but hang in there for part 2 and 3. It's really going to blow you away and help you on your journey. So important. If you'd like to talk about booking me for your next leadership development seminar, please go to stealthelevation.com, click book a call, we'll get on Zoom and we'll talk about it, okay? I want to help you and your team grow. That's why I'm doing all this. I could just be an airline pilot flying the line, but I feel like there's so much more to give, in my personal opinion. If you're ready to go deeper, I wrote a book, Stealth Elevate. It's available on Amazon in various formats. Go check it out. Otherwise, I cannot wait for your elevation. Write me on social media, please. Like, if this is helping you or if you don't like something, please let me know. I'll take that feedback. I'll make it better, okay? Until next time, keep elevating. You got this. Let's go.